Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I can see lots of you saying I can't hear you yet. Don't worry, we hadn't started. We've got 1 minute to go. I just wanted to give everyone the chance to come in here. I can see we've got lots of people joining us, and I can see there's lots of comments there. The comments have a few seconds delay. Thank you for all your kind comments. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, I have audio. And when I said, "Can you see my slides?" that screen there with my face on, that is a slide. So thank you so much. I should have been more specific, shouldn't I? Great. Hey, Tom, how's it going? Vicky, Paula from Hawaii in the US, Gail from Japan. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock here in the UK. I look better with beard and long hair. I've actually, I don't know if I consider that long hair. I've got longer beard now though, but thanks. Hey, Monica from Spain. Okay, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've got some really, really cool stuff for you. I'm going to show you how to go raw for 3 days. And I've got a special offer for you at the end, something very special, something new we're doing. We'll come to that all in good time. I just really want to focus, at least for the first hour, on this raw for 3 days thing. So I love a bit of interaction. You know, I'm just sitting here at my desk with my computer with all my bits and pieces and my water here, and it can get kind of lonely. So I like to ask some questions every now and then, just so I can feel that you guys are there. I can see you all piling in and saying where you're from. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I'm going to be asking questions as we go through and just asking for a little bit of participation. And if I don't answer your question, I'll come to the questions at the end essentially, but you know, there can be a few seconds delay as well. So if I don't see your question straight away, we'll try and get to it at the end if we can. And I certainly go through all the questions and stuff afterwards and see all your comments and stuff. So that is all good. Okay, perfect. Man, we've got people coming from all over the world. Tennessee, Croatia, Texas, Indiana. Okay, superb. So how to eat raw for 3 days and transform your energy, get better sleep, and just feel more vibrant than ever, you know? So my name is Russell James. We're going to come to a little bit of that in a second and introduce myself formally. I've got a goal for this training, and my goal for this training is that I really show you what's possible when you bring an abundance of raw and plant-based foods, but specifically raw for 3 days, raw foods into your life, and give you some actionable tools on how to do that by starting off with a commitment of 3 days on only raw foods. And I'm going to show you what to do beyond that as well to maintain the benefits. So that's my goal. Why should you stay until the end? To make me feel good is the number one reason, to make me feel loved. But I've given you something a little bit more solid than that. That's not about me. I want you to discover your own reasons and why you want to eat raw for 7 days. I've put 7 days there. We used to do a 7-day thing, but I think 3 days is much more manageable. Learn how to set yourself up right and how to keep yourself on track. So for the 3 days and beyond that. How you can just make this simple and easy to do and actually fun and enjoyable as well. I think that's really, really important. And how to get the support of your family. Okay, so I know a lot of you are going to be nodding your head right now, right? This is a big one. Getting the support of your family can be kind of tricky. It definitely can. So we're going to go over that. And then, as I said, I've got a very special offer for you at the end. I've also, if you stay to the end, and I'm not sure how this works, my team will send you this after the webinar for everyone that's on it. We've made this easy for you. So I've got my Eat Raw for 3 days recipes, meal plans, and shopping lists. Okay. What this webinar is not is going to be just talking through recipes and stuff and telling you how to make stuff, because that's not the best way that I can serve you. The best way I can serve you is to give you the mindset and some practical tips and tools on how to get around some of the more commonly encountered struggles, I guess. Like we mentioned, family, we're going to be delving into a bit of that. And then we'll just take care of the recipes, the meal plans, and the shopping list by actually sending you this free PDF. So that's what you're going to get for staying on the webinar. Okay, so who is this training really for? So this is for a bunch of people, and this is for, firstly, people who have never eaten raw before, but they're excited about the benefits, right? If you're maybe new to me and we only sent this out to our email list, so you might be fairly new to raw foods and you're excited about the benefits. This is for you. People who are confused about where to start. Okay, we're going to dive into some of that. It's for people that have eaten raw before and want a bit of a restart. Okay, and it's for people who want to eat high raw after this 3 days, high raw and plant-based. And for people who want to get out of a rut, right? I think we can all get into a rut, even me. You know, if I've been traveling and I haven't had access to all of the foods that I really love to eat when I'm at home, or where there's a raw food restaurant around, or, you know, really high quality eating place, then, you know, things can slip a little bit. And I think what you'll find is, I mean, my rut is probably different from, well, we've all got our own idea of what a rut is, right? But I never, since the day I first ate raw food, I've never been to McDonald's, I've never been to Burger King or any of that stuff. So there's only so far I'll fall from the tree. But we've all got that situation that makes us feel like, oh, I just need some inspiration. I need to get back into this, and I need to start eating the way that I know I love to eat. So it's for you, if that's you. And it's for people who see the value in making food for themselves and their family, right? So for this 3 days, you're going to be making all your own food, unless you're blessed to have a really good raw food restaurant close by and the resources to have them, you know, make you food. I would suggest that even if that is the case, that you still make your own food. And some people get a little bit caught up on, oh, it takes too much time. And then when I kind of delve into asking them what they eat normally, it turns out, you know, they buy a sandwich at lunchtime, or, you know, they maybe eat out, which is all good, in the evening. But what they're actually having a struggle with is making their own food, right? Whether it's raw, cooked, plant-based, whatever it is, you're going to move into that making food for yourself, at least for 3 days. And so you've got to see the value in that. And there's huge value in that, because then you know exactly what's going in. You know it's all fresh. If you eat organic, you can choose your ingredients, make sure it's all organic. So it's for you if you see the value in that. Now, have you eaten raw before? I would love to get you just to put in the chat box here. If you haven't eaten raw before, why haven't you started? Just type in, it can be just a few words if you like. And if yes, if you stopped, what stopped you at the time? I'm going to assume that you know, you guys on this webinar right now are that you would like to eat more raw. That's why you're coming on the webinar, right? So yeah, why haven't you started? And if yes, what stopped you at the time? So whilst those answers are coming through, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. Okay, so yes, I do eat raw, a mix of raw and cooked. Linda's not organized enough. Okay. We're going to cover a little bit of that. Yeah, cooking for the whole family, Laurie, I can see that. Yeah, not as much raw in the winter. Laziness. Okay, we can get past that. That's probably, yeah, we're definitely going to indirectly talk about that. Life pressure. Okay, cold. It's hard to find ingredients. Okay, good. Yeah, all of the stuff that I would expect. 5 years now. Oh man, they're coming in so thick and fast now. I can barely keep up. Oh, there you go. I can scroll and stop them. Organizing myself, I get bored and fall back on old foods. Okay, thank you so much. Keep putting those in, because I'm going to look at the end. I want to keep us on time here. So my story, just a little bit about my story, and I'm only telling you my story because I think you're going to identify with certain parts of it, and I want you to know that I didn't come from a perfect place as far as you know, my food is concerned. So my name is Russell James. I've been eating raw food for over 10 years, and teaching it for around 9 years. Now, I discovered raw food because I was looking for a way to clear up my acne. And in my early 20s, I worked for a fast food chain. I can tell you, because we're all friends here, it was Burger King. It's about far away from raw food as you can get. And that's where I developed acne. And, you know, who knows whether it's because I was destined to have acne at age 17, hormones being what they are, or whether it was working in that greasy environment every day after college, or if it was eating in that greasy environment, eating that food every day after college. It's probably a mix of all three. So I spent 7 or 8 years taking medication, right? So I took lots of antibiotics, which, as most of you will know, or a lot of you will know, it's just not good for your internal flora, right? So it kills off the good bacteria as well as the bad. Obviously antibiotic actually means life. I think it's a Latin originated word. So anti-life is, I didn't know that you should be taking probiotics, pro-life, after, which actually has got another meaning. But eating sauerkraut, eating kimchi, all of that stuff, I didn't know how to rebuild my internal flora, and I was taking all these antibiotics. So that's something I still am working on with my fermented foods. And I took topical skin creams that would make my skin red and itchy, and I would do and sting as well. And I did Roaccutane as well. It's called Accutane in the US, and it's pretty strong. It's got a lot of side effects, such as liver damage, anxiety, and depression, because it dries up your oil production in an effort to get rid of your spots. But your brain runs on fat, so it dries up your brain a little bit, and it's been linked to some nasty depression and anxiety, actually, especially in teenagers. So not good stuff. But I'd heard about raw food, and it seemed very extreme to me at the time. Okay, so as a way of eating healthy. But then I got into the idea of juicing and the idea of cleansing, right, and doing maybe 1 day of just juice per week. And then I heard about raw food whilst I was I've heard about raw food again whilst I was on a fasting retreat in Koh Samui in Thailand. Some of you may have even been to this place, the Spa Samui. Went there for 7 days, multiple enemas, nutritional supplements, no eating for 7 days, just water, essentially. Which reminds me, excuse me whilst I just have a little swig of mine. Okay, so I cleared up my skin with that cleanse, right? 7 days, I cleared up my skin. And I continued to make it better with raw food. And so I got really excited about raw food. That's not me, hopefully you can tell. But that's what I felt like. I was like, man, fruits and vegetables. Started doing 90% of my shopping in the produce department, whereas before I'd be trying to avoid things like refined sugar. Definitely dairy was always bad for my skin. And when you try and walk around and look at labels and try and avoid this stuff, you see, I mean, it's pretty well known how much stuff sugar's in now that just doesn't need to be in. But milk powder and bread and stuff is just and other things. It's crazy. So now I didn't really know how to make raw food at the time. I wasn't a trained chef, and I chose this picture because it always makes me smile. Anyone who's got a Vitamix will know the Vitamix works without the lid on. And there's going to be a day, if you haven't had your day with the Vitamix yet, if you haven't had your Vitamix moment, as I call it, it's coming, and it's going to be probably green juice, green smoothie, something green, or it's going to be something beetroot based, and it's going to go everywhere. Mine was chocolate, actually. And I've been pretty lucky, touch wood, since that first chocolate explosion from my Vitamix. Right, so I started from a lot of the place that a lot of you started from and are starting from now. So I picked it up as I went along with varying levels of success. And maybe you can identify with this. Co-workers at the time would make fun of me because I was working at the supermarket. I was like middle management, and when I would bring in some raw food, it would cause a bit of a circus, to be honest. Even when I was bringing in salads, it was kind of funny to think about. But I started drinking herbal teas when when no one was really doing that, and I started taking in dehydrated burgers and stuff, and so they would just make fun of me. And I lived in shared accommodation at the time, and this is what the kitchen felt like sometimes, right? So there was only, I think, 4 of us in the flat, but then with, partners and stuff, and it felt so cramped that I couldn't really make food whenever I wanted, right? And I found that incredibly frustrating. And I know, having spoken to people that kind of deal with that, it's a very common thing. So at the time, if I couldn't make something raw because I wanted to eat raw, I just eat nuts, which is not healthy for us. And so I almost gave up on it. And I'm so glad I didn't, because I just want to give you some of the things that raw food has given me. And I want you to kind of think about and relate it to your own life, because, I found a career in raw food, but it doesn't, some of you will want that. It doesn't have to be that way. It might be that it can reconnect you with your creativity and your, the art that you used to do when you were younger, or dance lessons, or whatever it was that you create, or, it might reconnect you to, you might connect you more to your family and for your reasons for, building a home. So for me, I fused my creativity with the healing I had, and I became the raw chef. So I transitioned from a supermarket manager, as I said, to a driving instructor. So when I found out about raw food, I was actually becoming a driving instructor, to having my own business. And I've traveled the world and I've just made some incredible new friends for life. And I think there's very few other ways of eating that can be so powerful, that can change things so profoundly, as raw food is really eating. I don't like to say eating cleanly, but if I do say eating cleanly by mistake, because the opposite side of that is dirty, and I certainly am not into shaming anyone for the way they eat. But I think when you do eat this way, it does feel kind of clean. It feels uplifting. It feels, I don't know if you've done a fast, but when I did my fast, it felt like a spiritual experience. And I just was very clear in my thoughts, and I knew what I wanted to do. I knew the direction I wanted to head, and I was able to easily make decisions. So that's what I want for you. So we're going to just have a little bit of fun here now. So we've got a few hundred people on. And some of you, I know you're all going to be in different situations. Some of you, you're all over the world, right? So some of you are going to be taking a break from work. You're maybe going to be sitting in the staff room listening to me, and no one around you knows you're listening. Some of you are in a nice quiet room. Some of you have locked yourself in the bathroom away from the kids. The whole range. But I'd really love if you can find a place, even if it does mean going into the bathroom, and sitting on the clothes loo, to just close your eyes for a second. And I just want to give you, having said what I've said and having had such a profound experience with raw food in my life, I'd really love for you to kind of experience that, at least in your mind, and just do like a 2-minute meditation here with you. So if you are at all able, just to close your eyes and just take a few breaths. It helps me as well. Take a few breaths. So just in through the nose. You don't have to count or anything, just 3 deep breaths. If you're sitting down, just feel your back on the back of the chair like I am. Just feel the chair supporting you. If you've got your hands on your lap, you can just feel your hands on your legs. Just feel just present as you can be with whatever's going on around you. Just take a moment for yourself. Now I want you to think about, now before you close your eyes, you may have seen there's a beach scene there, and I just because that's a relaxing scene for me, and I just want you to think what your life could be in 90 days from now. And that's 90 days of having eaten a diet rich in life-giving, vibrant, healthy raw foods. And you can drop all the stuff about being 100%. You can drop all of the guilt. You can drop all the shoulds and I must and this is what is expected and all of that. Just let all that go, because all I'm talking about here is just doing the best we can in the situation we're in. And I'm going to set you up right for this. Certainly for 3 days doing 100% raw, but 90 days just doing the best you can. Maybe a green smoothie every day or every other day, maybe a couple of raw meals a week. Just getting that nutrition in, getting that raw nutrition in, greens, fruits, all of that nutrition. Imagine what that's going to look like on you in 90 days. Feel how much energy you have. What can we do with our energy? Energy arguably is the most valuable resource that we've got, right? If we've got energy, we can do anything. So you've got energy to create beautiful things in your life, whether it is starting a business like I did, or maybe it's whether it's changing your job, or maybe it's the energy to play with your kids all day and wear them out, or your grandkids. I had a lovely email from someone a little while ago who had cured her constipation with raw foods over the course of about 60 days, I think it took her. And she had so much energy, she started marathon running, or running 7 miles a day, and she would play with her grandkids, and it just meant the world to her. So what's your version of that? What's your thing? And what then are all the ripple effects of those things in other people's lives that you've affected positively, with your energy, by you being able to show up and be positive? How does that feel to be not just an example to them, but to have more yourself to give, and to support them with? And then think about, the type of body that you want to create. And I'm definitely a fan of, loving your body exactly where you are. And it doesn't even have to look any different. It doesn't even have to be you needing to lose weight or put on weight or do anything specific, but how does it feel to be in your body after 90 days of eating such good, healthy raw food? Because I can tell you, being comfortable in your own skin and feeling good trumps anything. It really does. And, you know, maybe for you, like for me, it was having clearer skin. And for me, having clearer skin meant, you know, just one day without any new spots or pimples appearing. You know, that for me was life-changing. So just take a breath. I want you to just gently, as we come into the next slide here, I want you to just open your eyes. And you should have a little bit of a different feeling in your body from that. And that's only going to increase as you get into this 3 days of raw food, and then you start to bring in more and more raw foods as the weeks and months go on. So I just gently want to bring you back and think about your 5 reasons why. Why do you want to do this? And in your handouts that I'm going to send you, you'll have a space to write this down. So you don't have to write it down now. If you do want to, that's really cool. If you've got something you can write with near to you. Reasons why, you know, people at the start there, they were talking about feeling lazy. You know, I don't do it because I'm lazy, which is, if that's a horrible way to talk to yourself. I'm betting that you wouldn't let other people tell you you're lazy, right? If you think that. Excuse me. So your 5 reasons why. For me, number 1 was clearer skin. Number 1 reason, life-changing. Like I said, just 1 day with slightly clearer skin with no new spots was huge for me. My second reason was to experience more flow in my life. Right, I wanted to experience some of the synchronicities and flow that people were talking about when I heard them talk about raw food. You know, they would talk about, I met this person I hadn't seen them for 15 years since school, and we met in the street, and it was amazing. Or, you know, I did this and I thought of this person, then that person phoned me, right? So we all experience those synchronicities. But for some people, these stories that I was hearing when they were eating raw, for some reason, it sounds kind of funny to say it, but they felt like it connected into something bigger. And so they started to experience more flow generally. So those 2 were my big ones, and that kept me going. Looking back, I definitely reconnected to my creativity. I didn't know that I wanted to do that at the time. It was just something that naturally happened, but maybe there's something that you think, yeah, I definitely want that as well. You might, and this is now an example for you, maybe you want to learn some new recipes. I would say to have clearer skin for me would be a hugely more motivating reason than having new recipes. So by reason 1 or 2, you've probably nailed your biggest 2. Having a few follow-up ones can be really good, and maybe it's to get better sleep as well. So that's definitely something that I found as well, better sleep. So what I want you to do during your 3 days is just journal these every day and just rate your experience from 1 to 5 on each of those things. So as I said, you know, clearer skin for me, a 5 would have actually been, or a 4 maybe would have been no new spots, right? It doesn't mean like a 4 or 5. It's like, oh, I've got completely clear skin. For me, yeah, just a bit clearer was like a 4 or 5. And then write a couple of sentences on each in a journal or a diary or a piece of paper, whatever it is. You don't have to make it perfect. Don't be too precious about it. Just write a couple of sentences on each, like, you know, just a couple of thoughts. Keep it fun, right? And so what you're doing here is you're tuning up your sensory acuity to notice the things that you want in life. And this is just for 3 days, right? And what I think you're going to find is that you enjoy it so much that you're going to carry it on afterwards. Even if you don't carry it on forever, I'm sure you'll come back to it. You might do it for a week at a time or a month at a time, but it's such an easy, quick thing to do, and it's such fun. And I was just reading an article earlier about writing your day, so writing your life. And so the concept of this, you know, I guess a lot of people call this journaling, but the concept is that you write down what's going on for you in the way that you know that you can get honest in your journal. No one has to see it, but your mind can tell you all kinds of things, like I'm lazy, or you're lazy, or all of these things that aren't very nice. But then you can journal that and you can say, well, I'm feeling lazy, but the truth is that I work really hard, and I've got 2 kids that are really demanding of me, and that I just don't take time for myself. And so don't leave this stuff to your inner voice, because it will trip you up. It will tell you to do something, and then when you do it and you mess up, it will tell you that you should never have done it. So that's going to be really handy for you. Okay, so this is kind of a rhetorical question, but it's at this point now where I just like a little bit of interaction. And so I wanted to ask a question. So do you want an easy way to bring an abundance of raw food into your daily life so you can start to create this vibrant future you that maybe you just thought about in your meditation? So just give me some yeses in the chat and let me know you're still there. I can still see we've got everyone in here. We've got a few hundred people, which is really awesome. In answer to your question, no, you won't need a dehydrator, and we're going to get to that as well. Yes, Karen, thank you so much. Awesome. Perfect. Great. Yeah, you should be seeing the slides. Awesome. Yes, perfect. Thanks, guys. Good to know you're still with me. So we're going to look at 3 secrets, and they're not like secrets that have been held from you type of thing, but 3 secrets to your success, so to speak. These are the 3 things that I really want to focus on to get going. And yeah, let's just jump into this. So the first one is that you can and you must make this simple and easy to do. So we just had a question about a dehydrator. Do I need a dehydrator to eat raw for 3 days? And no, you don't. You're going to use recipes that take no more than 10 minutes to make. Now, you can use your own recipes, but as I said, you're going to get the PDF with the recipes that's going to make this easy for you. Now, you can get adventurous later on if you want to, right? So you can start diving into all kinds of recipes and dehydration, all that stuff, if you've got a dehydrator, if you want to later on. But I really want you to get an experience of 3 days of success doing it as simply as possible. You don't need to get bogged down in needing lots of equipment. Just a knife, a chopping board, and a blender. Okay, so we're not seeing the slides. Just give me a second here. Can you see the slides now? I'm just going to give you a moment to, if you can just let me know if you can see those slides now. Just seeing me, not the slides. Okay. That is strange. Give me a second here. Okay. Can you see the slides now? Yes. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay, you can see the slides now. So you didn't see my that was the beach scene that you should have seen before the meditation. Okay. So your five reasons why. Journal those every day. You don't need to get bogged down in lots of equipment. Just a knife, a chopping board, and a blender. So yeah, someone said about a Vitamix. A Vitamix would be great. You don't necessarily have to have a Vitamix. You can just, whatever the blender is, the strongest blender that you've got, you can definitely make that work. If you are going to get any new kitchen stuff, a knife and a chopping board is by far the most valuable thing that you can get. Now, don't wait until you're hungry to decide what to eat. No, you shouldn't be seeing me at the same time. Don't wait until you're hungry until you decide what to eat, right? This is a really, really important thing. So again, we've got you covered for the 3 days. You've got your recipe meal plans, recipes and meal plans and shopping lists. So you're not going to need to wait until you're hungry to decide what to eat. And as I said there, you use a menu planner so you can shop once for 3 days. And then later on, you'll have, ideally we want to get you to a place where you'll have the skill to make something without a recipe with what you have in the fridge. So for the 3 days, you're going to be reliant on these recipes, depending on your skill level. But that's not how we live life, right? We don't live life from a recipe, and you'll always be tied to a recipe if that's what you're doing, and it's just not going to last. Okay, so that's where we want to get you to. Secret number 2. Don't try and force your family into this. Let me just take a quick swig on this water. With a smiley face. Don't try and force your family into this. Now, this is a comment that I got on my blog a little while back. This may happen to you. I haven't got kids, so I don't know. But Amy Hartman posted here, I can't believe how insanely generous you are, and I cannot say thank you enough, which is very nice. So this is my 5th recipe I'll try, and my 6-year-old daughter, or 6-year-old, she doesn't say daughter, but 6-year-old begs for the other 4. You are mummy's angel. Thank you, Russell. So what I've experienced and what I've heard people saying is getting kids involved in making stuff and getting their hands in there. It's kind of funny. I had a friend who was teaching a class of school kids how to make raw cookies, and he said they made the cookies, and they were, obviously not dehydrated, and they were raw. And the kids said, "Do we cook them now?" and my friend said, "Yeah, you don't need to cook them." And then they said, "Yeah, but can we?" So kids are going to come up with all kinds of things to make this more fun. And I think that's why you've got a good shot at getting them into it early, is getting them involved. So if your family don't want to eat raw with you, it can kind of feel like you're separating yourself, right? So raw and, well, meal times, I think, are a shared time, aren't they? So it's definitely a shared experience. And if they don't want to eat the same thing as you, it can feel a little bit like you're separating yourself and you're doing one thing and they're doing another. Not to mention the practicalities of making all that food, making 2 different meals. So what I would suggest is, if you tell your family what you're doing, you're going to be doing this for 3 days as an experiment. And some of you will have partners that will want to do this with you or be interested. Some of you will have people in your family that just got no interest and think you're crazy. So what I found is telling them it's only 3 days, and by saying it's an experiment, you're actually telling them that, but you're telling yourself that as well. You're giving yourself permission to try this out and to see what happens in 3 days, because I found that 3 days, everyone's different where they're starting from. 3 days is a good amount of time to really feel the benefits. And what you may find is that family members start to get inquisitive, right? So I've had a few situations like this. Very fortunate. My mum's always been very interested in this. My dad just doesn't understand it even now. And but back when I was living with my dad for a little while, years ago, when I first got into it, and I was in his kitchen making stuff, again, a very small kitchen, and didn't feel that I had time or space to make what I really wanted. But I was getting a few recipes together and I was practicing. It was before I was really doing this professionally, and I made some flax crackers, and they weren't great. I will be the first to admit. And that's when he decided he was going to have a taste of my food and actually spat it out. So if that's where I started, you can start anywhere and still be successful with this. So that was me. Christmas as well. I found a couple of Christmases where I've taken raw food round to family's house, and people are really genuinely interested by the food, and it's an experiential thing, right? So if they start to kind of pick at your food, and make sure you've got enough, obviously, but because it's your food, but if they start to pick at it, start to get inquisitive, just let that happen as a natural process if it does. And then I would consider doing one special meal at the end of the 3 days to celebrate, right? So make this a celebration at the end of the 3 days where you're going to do something special, even if it's just raw dessert. Raw desserts, by the way, are a no-brainer, hands down, easy way to get people into raw food and to see that it's awesome. So you might consider doing a dessert for everyone at the end of the 3 days, or even during actually, but then you might consider doing something a little bit more special, like a raw pizza, if you've got a dehydrator or an oven that can dehydrate. Yeah, just something a little bit more special. So it's something to kind of plan for and to look forward to, and something to feel really good about. Okay, we're zipping through these. Let me just check the time here. Okay, we're good for time. So secret number 3. You don't need willpower. Okay, so let me tell you why. So this webinar is about getting you excited to start, right? It's about giving you the tools and maybe a little bit of the motivation, and certainly some of the inspiration, and definitely some of the mindset to get you started. I would suggest doing this on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Start Friday and then maybe do Saturday or Sunday. I would kind of definitely avoid doing it on a Monday, unless specifically, like when I worked in retail, my day off could have been in the week, right? It was often a Monday because it's the quietest day in retail. So if you want to start on a Monday, if you've got a day off Sunday and Monday, then that's cool. Generally, though, I would try and avoid a Monday because it's such a diet mentality, isn't it, right? To start on a Monday, like everything's going to change on Monday. And then by Tuesday, you're kind of, off the wagon, and I'll start again next Monday. So, yeah, I would start again. I was just looking at the comments and questions there. Sandra says, I see only Russell. Can you again just let me know that you can see my slides here? Now, everyone experiences the first day differently. So you're going to find it I would suggest if you do drink coffee, that you try not to for the 3 days. No slides again. This is very strange. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why this is not showing slides when it's supposed to. Okay, you should be able to see the slides again now. We can see the slides. Okay, cool. So yeah, everyone experiences the first day differently. As I said, if you do drink coffee, if you leave coffee out now, you're probably going to get a headache, and that's actually a really good sign of what it's doing to you, right? So just bear that in mind. They will pass. Drink plenty of water. You might also want to just take a little bit more extra time for yourself during these 3 days, and maybe plan in a massage, right? Maybe plan in an Epsom salt bath, maybe with some essential oils, right? Some candles. There's guys as well. I can say I'm not proud. I'll say it. Because you really want to see this as, in fact, I think that's my next thing. Yeah. You really want to see this as time that you're doing something for yourself. I can see people asking about the grocery list and stuff. It's going to be sent to you guys as a PDF at the end. So if you're on the webinar, it'll be sent to you. So yeah, don't make any social commitments. This is something you're doing for yourself. Now, this comes with a caveat in that you're not giving up on life, right? So this isn't about not seeing friends. Like, just generally, raw food and healthy eating isn't about cutting yourself off in any way. But for 3 days, just do something for yourself where you are relaxed and there's nothing that's going to trip you up. You're not going to be drinking alcohol. You're not going to be going out and drinking and eating food that's not, something that's part of the program. And just take this time for yourself. Okay, perfect. Yvette, okay, loving this. Thank you so much. Marcia, yes, thank you. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Great stuff, guys. Thank you so much for your comments. Now, this is where this is why willpower is not needed, right? So once you start to feel the energy and see the results, willpower is not going to be needed because you'll feel it and you won't want it to go and you'll want more of it, I promise. Another part of this is that the food should be delicious and it should be filling. There's no need to feel hungry and unsatisfied, right? So there's plenty of ideas for food in the recipes, right? It's all planned out for you, the meal plan and the shopping lists. And for anyone that missed me just saying it, it's going to be sent to you. Okay, so you don't need to worry, you can just relax. And you can make extra food. You can make some snacks if you want to. You make extra snacks, and what you're probably going to find as well is that some of the recipes are going to have some leftovers. Okay, so you can put some leftovers, you know, on if you can buy raw crackers around where you are, then perfect. We're not going to be making any raw crackers because the recipes don't need a dehydrator. I wanted to make sure they're simpler for you. So yeah, just eat a little bit extra if you want to. And you know, everyone is. I'm not. This is not a nutritional plan that's bespoke for everyone, right? This is a general meal plan and menu and recipes that make good amounts of food, but everyone's eating differently. So you might want to, well, you're gonna make the portions for you and for what you feel is right, and so that you're not hungry. I will say actually as well is make sure that you are really properly hydrated. Make sure you're drinking, you know, at least a litre or two of water a day. Nice, clean, filtered water. If you haven't got a water filter, a really good one, then bottled spring water would be a good option there as well. It's so, I don't know if any of you guys have done this, but a little while ago, I got an app on my phone so I can log a drink of water. Right, when I've had a drink of water, I log it, and then I make sure that I get like 2 liters a day. And you do that for a day, even a day, or certainly 2, and life just feels different. I promise you, like just drinking water. Of course, now you're going to be, if you're eating raw food for 3 days, high water content in raw foods. You know, fresh fruits and vegetables, and even soaking nuts and stuff. We're not going to go too heavy on the nuts and seeds, but they are in there. But you're going to be eating a lot more high water content food than you probably have been for quite some time. So you're going to be hydrated from that as well as the water. And you can have, you know, juices on this as well. I'd stay away from, I've put this in the tips, but stay away from, this is pretty standard advice now, stay away from the sugary juices, because they will kind of mess up your stomach a little bit. They'll give you a bit of an upset stomach. It will totally spike your blood sugar, and it will make you feel more hungry than you perhaps are and would have been, because, you know, when that blood sugar starts to come down, you're going to be craving, oh, I need more I need more juice, or I need something to eat. So yeah, your main source of hydration wants to come from water. So he says drinking. I actually took some throat spray just before this, some calming, not throat spray, but some calming spray. I don't know if you can hear in my voice, it's a little bit husky. It's made me, I thought I was going to lose my voice, which wouldn't have been very good. I said this, so if you need to add an extra snack, feel free to do so. You can do that from the recipes, or actually even add a little bit of extra food. Try not to overeat. I used to hear people say it's impossible to overeat on raw foods, which isn't quite true, but there's something to it. What I found is that if you do overeat, that it kind of goes pretty quickly, like that feeling of, it's not like the feeling that you used to get after eating a massive roast dinner, you know, at Christmas, and just completely stuffing yourself with all kinds of horrible stuff. You know, if you overeat on raw food a bit, it tends to just go away 20 minutes, half an hour. I found, again, there's going to be exceptions to that rule. But there's, oh man, if I put this video on my site, you can go, if you go onto YouTube, not now, but there is a video on YouTube that talks about the two ways that we decide that we're full up, right? So the body decides that it's had enough food, and one is volume, right? So there's your body will tell you when you've had enough food, and it will certainly tell you if you've gone over it, but you do need a volume of food, right, to feel satiated. The second is nutrients. So if your body gets enough nutrients, it's like, okay, I've been nourished, I've been fed, and I don't need any more food, right? So you get both of those with raw food. The thing about junk food is that there's huge volumes, but with very little nutrition. So your body just wants to eat and eat and eat, right? It just wants to keep putting food in your mouth, because it's kind of like, well, I haven't got the nutrients yet. So often people who eat, who get overweight and who eat a lot of that type of food are the most undernourished of all. So bear that in mind. So yes, eat a little bit extra if you need it, but just do be conscious of not overeating and not eating too much. Now, this is a fun one. So as you're eating the food, I want you to visualize all of those living nutrients feeding your body on a cellular level, right? So I want you to think about, this is a really, really cool thing to do with having your green juice or green smoothie, right? As you're drinking it, just imagine that juice or smoothie going down and just nourishing your cells. If you imagine, sometimes I like to imagine the little sunshine emoji, that you got on your phone, and just like that, there's a ton of those in my green juice or green smoothie, and that I'm pouring them down into my cells, and my cells are dancing, and those little chlorophyll sunshine emojis are nourishing my body. It's actually a really cool thing to do. It's not like you're going to do it every meal, but man, does it feel, it really takes it on quite a very interesting experience when you eat your food like that and drink your smoothies and juices like that, imagining that. Another way to do it, and you can do this like even with a simple banana, is close your eyes and just take a bite of a banana, close your eyes, and just eat that banana with your eyes closed and really taste it. Right? Really feel your mouth chewing it and taste and think how sweet it is, and think how much potassium and vitamin C there is in there, and what it's doing for your body, and things that you don't fully understand that are happening. I actually do believe that we have not yet discovered all of the vitamins and minerals that are available to us. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm just a lowly chef, and with someone with 10 years of experience doing this. But I also don't wait for external things to tell me when something is scientifically true, or whether something is, I don't wait for someone to give me something that they can, write down or touch or pick up or, have in the physical world. If I feel like, actually, when I'm eating this banana, there's more than just potassium, there's more than just vitamin C and all of that big list of stuff that you've given me. There's something else in here that is nourishing me that we haven't even touched on yet. And I don't need to know about it, but it's happening. I don't need to be able to prove it, but I just know that that's happening. When you connect your food in that way, man, it's going to be a different experience. Eckhart Tolle, or Eckhart Tolle, depending on how you think you pronounce it, it should be pronounced, gave some great advice on intuitively eating foods, right? So when you go into the supermarket and you pick something up, just notice the effect on your body. So when you pick up, this is a little bit, you can do a little bit of this with resistance testing, right? Muscle testing, that your body knows whether something is good or bad intrinsically. But even without muscle testing, you can just pick it up, and you pick up an apple, an organic apple, and just see how does your body close or does it open? And then you maybe pick up a can of Coke. Does your body close or does it open? You can probably even imagine how that feels, even just for a lot of you probably haven't picked up a can of Coke in a long time. I know I haven't, but yeah, you will start to get that intuitive edge to your eating and your experience. And when you start to see those foods going in and doing what they're doing, it's a lot of fun, and it's very, very valuable, I think. Okay, I think we've come to the end of our 3 secrets. Yeah, we've got something special. Before I get into something special for you, we've been going for 50 minutes now here. I've kind of answered a few questions, and then I kind of was looking at the questions, but I just want to just dive in and make sure we get some of this taken care of. Okay, so is black caffeinated tea okay? Caffeinated tea, yeah, it depends what you mean by okay. I enjoy a black tea every now and then. I've got friends that don't touch caffeine because it just spikes them too much. And it depends what your goals are, really. I would say for the 3 days, just stay off of all caffeine if you can. And like I said, for some of you, even if you're coffee drinkers, you almost certainly will get a headache if you stop drinking coffee. And again, that's something that is interesting, right? You don't have to judge yourself. You don't have to say I'm a bad person for drinking coffee, but just come from a viewpoint of, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that I feel so bad when I don't have something like a drug, like a drug. So black tea will do that to you as well. Chocolate, actually, if you eat enough of it, will do that to you as well. I don't want to demonize anything, but I just want you to be in touch with what's happening for you. I want you to be honest with yourself about what's happening with you, because we can all trick ourselves. I certainly can. I catch myself eating a bit too much raw chocolate and think, actually, is this? I love raw chocolate, but is this? Am I relying on it now? Am I looking for it to fulfill a need? Am I looking for it to raise my mood because something else in my life is not the way I want it to be? So we just got to be honest with ourselves, and that's not for me to tell you, don't do this or don't do that. I can just give you the tools to look at it honestly. So having said that, the best way to look at it honestly is to cut out all caffeine. So green tea, white tea, yerba mate, black tea, anything with caffeine, coffee, obviously, chocolate, just for 3 days, see how you get on. Kefir is all good. Yep, definitely kefir is great for the intestines. We know you are something special. I think that's a snarky comment. How do we control IBS on raw food? This is not something that I've necessarily got. I'm not a nutritionist, and I'm just giving you the experience of my years, I guess. And IBS is not something I've come across a lot of. What I can tell you is that I've heard people that it's made it worse, and people that it's made it better. So for the people that it's made it worse, actually cooking plant-based foods works for them because it breaks it down a little bit more. So I would definitely, if it's something that really bothers you, I would see some kind of holistic therapist, some kind of naturopath that will be able to give you some tests and work with you one-on-one for something really specific like that. What else? Cabbage. Yes, cabbage is supposed to be good. Cabbage juice is great for digestion. Probiotics definitely help with digestion. So it's kind of interesting because when people say, will raw food help this? It's kind of like saying, will cooked food help this? Right? So as we've just been given a couple of examples there, with probiotics, cabbage and probiotics, by the way, is sauerkraut, right? So sauerkraut really good for that type of stuff. But again, I'm just very conscious of making sure that if you've got something that's really troubling you, that you get one-on-one help if you can. Oh, not snarky. We can't see you. Just something special. Okay. Thank you so much. I thought someone was saying, "Oh yeah, stop talking about yourself. You're great." Something special. Yeah, the something special is coming. I just wanted to. That's funny. I just wanted to get some questions in here. Yeah, is herbal tea okay? Absolutely, for sure. Drink as much herbal tea as you like over the 3 days. Yeah, so detox reactions, how to deal with. So I think I spoke about this, but drinking water really is going to really help you. If you're up for it, it makes me sound like I can give you an offer, but having colonics can really help with detox symptoms. So if you've got a registered, qualified colonic hydrotherapist near you, it would be really good for you to book that in, certainly at the end of the 3 days, but maybe even, at the end of day 2 or even day 1, depending on how clogged you think you are. It can really help to move things through. I see people really struggling with this actually on water fasts a lot, where they're not actually water fasts and juice fasts and stuff, or even smoothies, where they're not drinking anything or they're not eating anything solid. So things are kind of backing up in there. So at least with the raw food for 3 days, you've got the fiber still coming in. So it's going to be a bit more gentle than just going, a lot more gentle than just doing water. That was my first experience of cleansing. It was just doing 3 days on water and the rest of the week on juice. That was before Koh Samui. It was, the detox symptoms. Sometimes it's just, getting an early night and chilling out, right? Drinking plenty of water. I did mention, massages are great. Head massages are great as well for headaches. If you can get your partner to give you a head massage, then that's awesome, or any type of massage. Then, baths. I mentioned baths, like steaming out in the baths, doing a Epsom salt bath, or a what's the other? I'm trying to think of the other mineral, the flakes. It'll come back to me if I try not to think about it. So yeah, do that. Yes, the webinar is for 90 minutes, so we've got half an hour left. I'm just going to get into this something special in a second, once I've made sure that I've got. Yeah, so Philippa, I think once you start to feel good, it won't feel like time-consuming chore, but something exciting to do every day. Absolutely. Yeah, someone posted the thing about I can't find it now. Love the visualization. Tried something with my cucumber juice today. Feels great. I thought you said tried something with my cake, which is definitely an interesting thing. Once you start to do visualization, it's like, what's this cake doing to me? This is a raw cake. Is it religion or nutrition? It's definitely nutrition. Yeah, we're not religious about this here, but it's really actually about it's about being the best you, and taking time to really frame this for yourself in a way that makes you honor this part of your life and to see where it can take you. And I just come from a place of it having affected my life so positively, and all the emails that I get every day from people that do this stuff. So yes, perfect. Okay, so we're going to talk about something special, and then we'll come back to questions at the end there if we've got a chance. So let me just scroll down here. Perfect. Yeah, raw honey and tea is fine. Yeah, I'm just worried about getting sicker before you get better with raw foods. Yeah. So I think you'll get a really good idea of where you're at in that 3 days. I don't think it has to be, I think I'm going to get really sick. Do you drink wheatgrass? I haven't had wheatgrass. Oh yes, it's magnesium flakes. Thanks, Nina. I haven't had wheatgrass for so long. I used to do it at home. It just became a bit of a chore actually for me, wheatgrass. But I certainly will have it if I'm out at a juice bar or whatever, and they've got it for sure. Is regular peanut butter bad? Yeah, sorry. Peanuts have got aflatoxins in, so it's not great. Not to say you can't ever have peanut butter. If you're going to have peanut butter at some point, make sure it's organic, no added salt or sugar and all that stuff, and you can have it. Not in the 3 days, I would say. Yeah, don't overcomplicate. Absolutely true. Just wondering, drinking a lot and cutting out salts, which people do. It's easy to wash out all the salts without really releasing them because of misinformation understanding. Yeah, I actually don't cut out salt. I actually find salt to be very useful. I realized how much salt was having a positive impact when I had adrenal fatigue a couple of years ago. And I would actually start my day with a teaspoon of grey salt in water, and it instantly made me feel better, which is a really good barometer of where you're at if you drink salt water and feel better. Again, if you've got particular issues, work with a naturopath. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, we'll come back to those questions. So something special. So let me ask you a question. How would you like to be part of? I tell you what, I've really enjoyed actually is the chat tonight. We've got a few hundred people in here, and you can see that actually the community, you're all giving each other's answers, and you're teaching me stuff as well. You know, this is very much a bottom up learning. This is not just me at the top saying this is the way it is, and this is going to work for everyone, right? It's like, oh, actually, I tried that in a community. You can say I tried that, it didn't work for me, or this worked for me, or actually you might want to watch out for that, or you know, one person's salt is okay, one person wants to release salt. So how would you like to be part of a community of ongoing support, ideas, inspiration to help you bring raw and plant-based foods into your life? I'm going to assume it's a yes. Well, you'll be thrilled to know we've got something completely new, it's very special and extremely accessible for you to get started with today. Introducing the Raw Chef Wellness Club. Okay, so I'm really excited about this. It excites me every time I see that Raw Chef Wellness Club. So here's what this is going to do for you. You're going to receive ongoing support that you need to make raw and plant-based foods part of your daily routine, yeah, to whatever level you want that to be. You're going to be part of a community for the raw curious and the raw committed alike, right? Just people just like you. You're going to see the benefits of raw food. For me, it was smoother skin, so you might get silky smooth skin, more energy, clarity of thought is really is definitely one of those things that I see people talking about a lot, experiencing a lot, and just so many other health benefits of raw and plant-based foods. And there's going to be support available throughout your journey to better health with monthly recipes, videos, and some extra bonuses. Okay, so when you join the Wellness Club, you become part of the Raw Chef family. We'll get you into the Wellness Club Facebook group so you can join the community of like-minded people, and you'll have the support you need to improve your health with raw and plant-based foods. So this could be as you do your 3 days, but it's also for the 3 days and beyond, right? It's beyond like 3 days experimentation of 100% raw foods into, you know, how do I really do this and improve my health long term? Like we said, like we did the little visualization for 90 days. How do we do that? So if you want to be part of a supportive community, if you want to receive ongoing inspiration and practical how-to lessons, if you want to maintain or improve your health with raw and plant-based foods, then this is specifically for you. So here's how we're going to do this. Let me just take a sip of water here. Firstly, the first thing we're going to do, monthly News from the Kitchen newsletter, received in the mail every month. Okay, so I'm actually going to post you every month my newsletter, News from the Kitchen. If you've been with me for a while, I started my email list like 12 years ago. 11 years ago. And I used to call my easy News from the Kitchen, but this is much more than that. This is a printed multi-page in the mail every month newsletter of tips, recipes, and resources. We're going to have guest articles on wellness. I've called it the Wellness Club because I want to make it about more than just raw foods and more than just even about plant-based cooked foods as well. That's what it's going to be centered around. It's going to be raw-centric for sure. Everything I do always is going to be. But I want to get some guest writers in talking on wellness, you know, talking on, we've covered a whole range of things today that aren't necessarily exactly raw food, like colonics. We've talked about essential oils and Epsom salt baths and so much other stuff. And my aim and my wish and my desire for this is it's something that you'll collect and you'll come back to again and again. So that's worth $49 US. The next thing I'm going to do is a monthly recipe card and a DVD and online video worth $27. So again, a collectible recipe card that is sent to you in the month, one per month, and we're going to put a DVD in there as well, showing you how to make the recipe. And I'll come back to why we're sending DVDs of this in a moment, rather than just having it online. But we are going to do the online version as well. So you'll have it on DVD. You'll have your collectible recipe card that's going to build into this beautiful collection of recipes and newsletters and information and actionable stuff. And the online version of the video, so that's 27. So with the News from the Kitchen newsletter, the monthly recipe card, DVD, and online video, we've got a value of $76, but there's more. So we're going to give you special access to the vault filled with resources, videos, and articles worth $19. So you're going to be able to access all of your monthly resources securely online, so that you can have access to the video lessons when you're, maybe if you want to take your iPad or your iPhone or your computer into the kitchen, or you want to view this stuff when you're away from home, if you're around somebody else's house, or you're traveling, you're on holiday or whatever it is. The reason that we're doing both is because I just think there's something really special about having a DVD sent to you and a recipe card that's actually something physical. And I'll talk about my motivation for why I'm really excited about doing this again and sending stuff to you in a moment. I'm also going to give you in the vault access to video lessons that we've got, but we don't have them anywhere else online or for sale. So we've got, I think it was 47 videos and lessons at last count, that are really good stuff that I don't have anywhere else online. They're not part of a course. And I'm going to make those accessible to you in the Raw Chef Wellness Club. So with the vault, we're up to a $95 value here. So just have fun with me a little bit here with what you're getting. The next thing, we're going to do a private Facebook group for the Raw Chef Wellness Club members worth $14. And to be honest, I partake in a lot of online courses myself, right? I love them. I love doing them. I love what they bring to my life. And when those courses come with a Facebook group, the Facebook group ends up being actually worth more than I've spent upwards of $2,000 on a course before, like a business course. And that was great. But the Facebook group actually ended up being far outweighing the price, and in time, it's something that I continue to interact with, and the people in there are just invaluable. They're like-minded people in the Wellness Club, and everyone in that Facebook group will be current members of the Wellness Club. So it's going to be a really, really cool group of people, and I'm very excited to have you all in there. You'll be able to share recipes and learn from other people and learn from other people's recipes. And of course, you'll be able to ask questions of the community and do all of that stuff that you can do in a good Facebook group. So what you're getting now with that extra value is $109. What we're also going to do is a chance to hang out with yours truly during my live hangouts worth $29. So we're going to do once a month, we'll jump on a hangout, which you can just drop in at any time. It's going to be an hour long. You can stay for the whole hour, or you can just drop in and ask your questions, spend 10 minutes, spend 5 minutes, whatever it works for you. And you can ask me questions about raw food, some of the stuff we've been talking about tonight, anything relating to a healthy lifestyle. And I know there's some of you out there that are really interested in sharing the raw food thing, right? You want to do your own classes, you want to start your own blog, you want to, how to put together your own recipes so that you can teach people, even just to show family and friends, all of that kind of stuff. We will be jumping into all that stuff. And I was just thinking there, because we're going to provide, I didn't put it down, we're going to provide a recording to that as well. So if you're not able to get on live, you can for sure pick up the recording, and we'll put that in the vault. Okay, so that's worth $29. So now we're up to $138. We've got News from the Kitchen newsletter. We've got the monthly that's sent to you, the monthly recipe card and DVD, which is also sent to you. We've got the online version of that as well. We've got the Vault, the Facebook group, and the monthly Hangouts with me. So we're up to $138. Now, plus, for people on this webinar, we're going to do 3 special bonuses. The first one is your guide to raw food for the first 30 days, worth $47, and it includes a pre-filled binder with some recipes to get you started. Okay, so that binder will also serve as a place to keep your recipe cards and newsletters. Remember I said the newsletters, I would love them to be collectible. The recipe cards certainly will be. So this binder, I'm going to start you off with some recipes in there already and a guide, and yeah, get you going and just have this beautiful binder for you to keep everything. So with that, we're now up to $185. This is an exciting one. So this is worth $97, and it's a free ticket to the Raw Chef Live. So in June this year, I'm going to be doing the Raw Chef Live, a one-day class here in London. We're going to broadcast it online, and we're actually going to charge $97 for it, for an online attendance. But you get a free ticket as part of the Raw Chef Wellness Club. You get a free ticket to join us on that with my thanks. So I'd love to have you there. And so obviously you can just enjoy the class from your own home. We'll have an event replay available in the Vault, because not everyone's on London time. You know, if you're in the US, maybe you'll catch the afternoon, and you can watch the event replay the morning that you missed maybe. Depending on which area in the US you're in, you might even be able to catch the whole thing. Certainly if you're in Europe, you'll be able to catch the whole thing, no problem. So with that second bonus, we're up to $282 in value. I've got one more thing for you, and this is a lot of fun. Some of you may have heard of Strawsome, the straw manufacturer. Strawsome make awesome glass straws, and we've done a partnership with them where we're launching our very own The Raw Chef glass straw with them. It's a really beautiful handmade to order straw. It's a white, like frosted glass smoothie straw. They're all handmade. The detail on them is a couple of little sprouts, and yeah, I don't know if for you guys that have drunk through a glass straw, it just makes juices so much more, I don't know, it just makes it such a nicer experience than drinking out of a plastic straw. And then of course there's like the ecological and health benefits of not drinking through plastic and not having plastic to throw away or recycle. A friend of mine actually does, he kind of takes his glass straw around in like a carry case, like it's a James Bond gadget, right? So when he goes to a smoothie bar or juice bar, whatever, just pulls it out of his backpack and drinks his juice out of it. So they're worth $15. Actually, it's $14.95. I was just rounding up. They'll charge you about $5 postage as well, so it ends up being about $20 for one of those straws. So with all of that, we've got News from the Kitchen newsletter, the monthly recipe card with the DVD and online video. We've got the Vault, Facebook group, Hangouts with me, and we've got your 3 bonuses. So we've got the raw food guide for the first 30 days in your binder. We've got the ticket to the Raw Chef Live in June, and we've got the Strawsome glass straw, total value of $297. So for you guys, you know, doing your 3 days of raw, when you join us, you'll become a founding member of this club, this monthly club, right? The Raw Chef Wellness Club. And so I wanted to do something really special for you guys as a founding member. And as I said, this only got sent out to my email list. Like no one else sent it out. We didn't do any advertising. This was just for you guys on my list. And there's going to be some of you that are have been on my list, like I say, for like 10 years. They're like, I can't tell you how much that just makes me happy. And you know, there's going to be some of you that just joined yesterday, and that's all good. But I wanted to do something really special for you as a subscriber. So I thought, what if we do this for $149? But I was speaking with my team. We were speaking yesterday and the week before specifically about this. And we were like, what if we did something really special just to kick the Raw Chef Wellness Club off with a bang and make it really, really special? What if we only charged them postage for the physical stuff? Like, not actually charge for any of it, just charge postage and give them a free 1 month trial, 30-day test drive, if you like, of the Wellness Club, to give us a chance to really wow you and show you the value. So we decided to do all of this for $19, which just covers the postage for the physical stuff, which I think you can agree is a pretty incredible deal. So let me just give you the if you want to just jump in right now, they tell me I can do this thing here where I can put the button up. Just give me a second and I can do that. Now you should see on your screen, there'll be a couple of seconds delay, where we've got, there you go, it should pop up on the screen now. Be a founding member of the Raw Chef Wellness Club. And there's a little join the club button there for you as well. You can also visit therawchef.com/wellness-club. So this is, as I said, a limited time offer for founding members where we're just charging you postage. Then you get 30 days to decide if you want to stay. And after that 30 days, it's just $47 a month for all those monthly things. So, which we'll come back to in a second. But this is the 30-day guarantee, right? So if you decide that within 30 days you want to cancel and you don't want to go any further than paying your $19, then just drop us an email at russell@therawchef.com. Let us know. There's no shenanigans, right? There's no hoops to jump through. We make this as easy as possible. I don't want you, and yeah, I don't want you, if you don't want to be part of it, then you just tell us and we take you out. You can actually reply to any of our emails as well. Any email that I send you comes to our customer service. Ryan will take care of you. He will cancel this. You won't be charged if you don't want to carry on within 30 days. And you can keep all the goodies we've just shown you for $19, even if you cancel. And if you're really not happy, I'll also refund you the $19 if you're really like, no, this wasn't worth $19, even though you're getting a huge amount of value there for $19. Because I just want a chance to wow you, and I want a chance to show you how incredible this is going to be for you guys, especially as founding members. So this is what you're getting. So you're getting News from the Kitchen, $49. So you'll continue to get that monthly. You'll also get your monthly recipe card, DVD and online video. You'll have continual access to the vault. You'll have continual access to the Facebook group. You'll continually get access to your hangouts with me for as long as you're a member. And then the bonuses that we're adding in for just you guys is the guide and the binder, so you can keep all your stuff together, the ticket to Raw Chef Live, and your Strawsome glass straw. Okay, so you've watched the presentation this far. I'm very grateful, but you're here for a reason, right? So you can see this is incredible value. And I just want you to think about, what would it mean to have this kind of support and inspiration? You know, would it be valuable to you? Would it be worth it to you if it meant that you ate a couple of raw meals extra per week? You know, would it be valuable to you if, as you're making your raw meals, that you found something that maybe your husband or your wife really loved when they were maybe not a supporter of raw food, and they started to take a bit of an interest, or that you found a healthy meal that your kids really loved? Would it be worth it to you to have this support and inspiration if it meant extra energy, better sleep? That's not for me to tell you, that's just for you to think about. So I'm just going to leave this up here for a moment. Let me make sure you can still see that. You can probably see me now. There we go. Let me get the right slide. Okay, cool. So I talked about, why do we want to do this physical stuff again? You may have been with me long enough to know that we used to do all of our courses on DVD. Right? We used to do a big 10 DVD set of the Raw Chef at Home course. It was called something different back then. But we also used to do the 10 DVDs of the desserts course. And things move on, and we went all online, and I'm really glad we did that, because we can give a better experience online, right? We can give an experience of a full curriculum and a full learning experience of a full course, and we can give you tests and quizzes, and we can give you certificates of completion, right? We can certify you to say that you went through the course. Excuse me whilst just clear my throat. So I'm really glad we did that, but also I really miss just creating something physical. I'm a Taurian and I love to be able to see what I've created, right? If it's physically there in front of me, I'm like, yes, I created that thing, and we can make it look beautiful, and we can make it really valuable for you. And I think there's just a lot of people out there that miss our DVDs. We actually get questions fairly regularly about, do you still do the DVDs? So I wanted to do the DVDs. I wanted to create something that is, gives you that monthly, like, arrives in your letterbox, and you physically open it and you feel the excitement and the quality of it. And that, the reason for that, that I want you to experience that, is so that you continue that journey with raw and plant-based foods, and you really let them do what they can do for you and do what they can do for your life. Let them affect you in that way. So I'll leave that up there for a second. We've got 10 minutes. I can answer some more questions here. I can answer, whether it's a question about the course. Okay, or it can be questions about the course, or it can be questions the club, or about the about raw food in general, or about the 3-day thing. So a few of you are saying that the link is not working. Let me just take a look at that. Oh, the link seems to be working for me. Oh, give me a second here, because my app on my iPad has closed down. So let me just log in here for a second. So yeah, if you've got any questions, do let me know. And I'm just logging back in to my question panel here, so I can see them. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, I'm logged back in now. So I lost all those questions, but I can see. So Karen, link worked for me. Okay. Perfect. Try to join up. PayPal not going through. Maybe a good sign for you. Trying again. So $49 for however many months you want to stay. Yeah, you can cancel at any time. So that's a good question. Thank you. How do we get out physical address to you if it isn't the same as our billing address? We will send it to your the address that you put in there. Okay, link worked for me. That's all good then. Perfect. Amazing. Great. So yeah, we'll send to your billing address. Oh, so your billing address is different. I get what you're saying. So if you do the purchase, put your billing address in, and then just drop us an email and give us your shipping address if your shipping address is different from your billing address. Perfect. PayPal worked fine for me. Thank you so much, Sandra. So do let me know if you've got any questions about the 3 days or about this. It may be, if the link's not working, it may be that it's just a bunch of people visiting it at the same time. So yeah, try it again. It's clearly worked for some people. So Karen's asking, raw almonds, when I sprout them, how long in dehydrator, and what is the shelf life after dehydrating? So that's a good question. I would do them 12, even 24 hours in the dehydrator if you can, because I like them to be completely dried through. The shelf life, it's really important actually to still keep them in the fridge and keep them covered, keep them in a sealed container in the fridge, because they have lost their protection. Once you've soaked them, they're like a fresh ingredient. So I wouldn't keep them for any longer than a week in the fridge. You could, that's my official answer. I'd probably, if I was doing it myself, I could keep them for longer than that, a couple of weeks. But yeah, I learned the hard way back in the day before I was again doing this professionally. I left some, I'd soaked and dehydrated some almonds and left them out. They were covered, but I left them out at room temperature for a couple of weeks or a few weeks, thinking that they would be fine because they're, nuts. You can just store them right at the room temperature, but not after they've been soaked. Even if they've been dried, after they've been soaked, they've lost their protection. We will send you the PDFs we'll send you the shopping list, the recipe, and the shopping list, recipe, and menu plan. So those will appear in your email tomorrow. Been with you for years and learned so much. Very enjoyable recipes. Thank you so much, Sandra. Certification is awesome. Planning the start to my own business, teaching raw food preparation. Awesome, Robert. I'm not sure when we've got this offer closing down, actually. It's going to be around for a couple of days, but the bonuses are going to disappear. So yeah, if you can join us, we'd love to have you for sure. I'd like to certify as a raw chef. I'm not a raw chef at the moment. That's all cool. Yeah, so the certification is, is our online courses. That's something different from this. This is very much, offline support with the DVD of the month, recipe of the month, News from the Kitchen newsletter every month. Before we leave, can you make a quick note about the adjusting period where you get sick eating raw food 100%? Can I make a quick note about the adjusting period? You mean, can I talk about that a little bit more? Lifetime membership, Elizabeth. I'm going to reach out to you guys tomorrow. Yeah, obviously you don't buy this. Can you freeze dehydrated sprouted almonds? I bought 25 pounds and want to make sure how to keep them. You can freeze them. Yeah, you can definitely freeze dehydrated sprouted almonds. They'll keep for a long time if they're frozen. And that goes the same for flour. If you ever turn like your what do you call it, the almond pulp from making nut milk into flour, then you can just freeze that, and you can use it straight out the freezer because it'll be frozen. It'll be frozen, but there's no water in it, so it's not going to be hard, is what I meant. You have lovely skin. Why the beard? You haven't seen what's under the skin, under the beard. Karen, thank you. Yeah, perfect. It's not allowing me to change the state from Alabama to Ohio. If you've got a drop-down menu on the state, if you're from the US, it should give you a drop-down. If it's not giving you a drop-down, then type in the two letters for the state, right? So I think Alabama is AL, isn't it? But Ohio, I don't know what Ohio. I don't know what Ohio is. So just type in if you can type into that field, type in the 2 letters for the state. Yeah, perfect. I heard that after eating, okay, Jeremy. So I heard that eating cooked food for 30-year diet change. Okay, so I think what you're saying is if you're eating raw for 30 years and then you change to cooked food, that it makes you sick. I don't know. I think certainly if you have eaten all raw and you've eaten very cleanly like that for 30 years, then introducing some cooked food is certainly going to have some kind of effect. I don't know if it's really necessarily a sickness thing or whether there's just a period of adjustment. Yeah, I haven't got a lot of experience with that. So yes, we're going to work to get you a recording of this as well. So if you join late. Hi, Russell. I need to create raw meals for groups of people. Not sure this club would be help for that. I'm sure it would, but possibly have other suggestions or your other courses. For groups of people, we don't have anything that specifically covers making food for groups of people. But if you want to go into doing it a bit more seriously for others and maybe more professionally, the Raw Chef at Home, the course, the Raw Chef at Home, would probably really help you, actually. Karen, thank you for all your help. My son has lost 29 pounds on joining your classes and teaching me how to prepare it. Amazing. Thank you so much, Karen. Karen, could you drop us an email, actually? Drop us an email at russell@therawchef.com and just tell us a little bit more about that. I always just love to hear stories of people that have had amazing experiences with raw food and with our classes, and whether it be losing weight or whatever it is, because it's funny how people don't often think, oh, I'm going to go and tell Russell and his team at the Raw Chef that we had this amazing, you must get it all the time kind of thing. People have said just off the cuff some amazing things to me, like, oh yeah, I did this after doing your course, and I'm like, wow, like I really love hearing about that stuff. So yeah, I'd love it if you just drop us a little note and tell us a bit more about that. That'd be really cool. Signed up is great value. Thank you so much, Stephanie. What percentage of the monthly recipes mailed out will be new recipes that we haven't seen yet? All of them. Yeah, completely new. Everything is going to be completely new. You won't have seen them. Drop down menu got stuck on Alabama. 3 tries on PayPal, 4th worked. Oh, there you go. Thank you so much, Jesse. Thank you for persisting. How do you stay raw when traveling? It's an interesting one. I recently went to the US for 4 weeks, and I think my I guess with my lifestyle and the fact that I do this professionally, I am around a lot of people that kind of eat healthily and eat this way, or eat a certain way that's healthily, even if it's not just all raw food. And I tend to gravitate towards those areas where I can get healthy food. But airports are a nightmare, aren't they? There's very little in airports often that you can get. So it really depends on where I'm going and what I'm doing, how far I'm traveling. Like if I'm on Friday, I've got a car journey that's a few hours, so it's pretty easy for me to just take something or pick something up at a juice bar around here and do that. If I'm traveling, make sure I'm well fed. If I'm going on a long haul flight, it's so easy to take. You can take raw food bars and stuff that you either make yourself or you buy. A really good tip actually for jet lag is just to eat very lightly when you're traveling, if at all, and just drinking water with spirulina or chlorella in is really good for jet lag. But take a big thing of water and then just mix the spirulina as and when you drink it, because if you mix spirulina into water and then kind of leave it sitting there, it gets kind of yucky, even if you leave it for a couple of hours. So mix the spirulina in, fresh every 30 minutes, an hour or whatever, take a swig, and just nourish yourself that way. And you can find that actually eating very lightly when taking long haul flights can really be a good thing. For me, actually, it's almost like I want to eat out of boredom. on flights. Right? So keeping myself, making sure I've got films and I've got podcasts and stuff to do and treats to look forward to, even if it's a bit of raw chocolate or whatever. Christy, thank you so much for that. Yeah, the recipes will be new ones. Tara, will you be spouting dehydration? If you're talking about in the monthly, in the wellness club, then yeah, we'll be covering all kinds of stuff, sprouting and dehydration. And actually, what I didn't mention in the Facebook group, what we can do in the Facebook group is that Facebook allows you to do a live stream straight into a Facebook group. So we'll be doing that. Yeah. So I can cover all kinds of things like dehydration and sprouting and kind of stuff that isn't recipe stuff. We can do some special Facebook group broadcasts for you. So yeah, and a lot of this is going to be membership or member led, right? So I'm going to be close to you guys, so you can be telling me what you want and asking questions, and whatever you ask questions about, that gives me ideas of like, oh, okay, we need to cover that. This month or next month in a hangout or in a Facebook group post or in the video. So I'm excited about this. The field for state is stuck on Alabama and 80% in Florida. It is American dollars, yeah. I can't look at it right now. I can't technically debug it right now. Because I'm on the webinar on my computer, but we've come to our time here now. We're just actually 5 minutes over, so we're gonna end now. And what I will do is go into the order form and take a look for myself and see what's going on there. See if we can sort that out. Some people have been successful, I can see, but some people obviously have having a little bit of trouble. So yeah, you can always change your card to a different one later for sure. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Gabby. Appreciate it. Karen, it's $19 now for everything, and then 47 per month if you decide to stay, and you can cancel at any time. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to go and have a look at that order form now and see if we can take a look at the state. It was working earlier, and it seems that some people it's worked for. So keep trying, and I'm going to have to take a look at it now. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your interaction as well. Yeah, it's been totally awesome. So let me... Okay, I have to come out here and end the broadcast here. So thanks, guys. Speak to you soon.